Today, there are so many hate websites. And if you get lost in one of those hate, how do you think ISIS recruits? ISIS had no problem in recruiting young people from all over the world by creating outrage, creating hatred. And so today there's freedom to love, there's also freedom to hate. That's why we talked before coming here, freedom or independence comes with responsibility. There is nothing like pure independence. Independence, freedom comes with responsibility. And journalism as a profession came with certain tenets of what is responsible. That is going away. Journalism as we know it has gone away. Today, journalism is not social service, but it is returning profit to the shareholders. Today, journalism organizations are corporations. Okay? And so what will sell? What will move around? That is very important now. And so the face of journalism also is changing. I'm not saying we should bring the old journalism back, but these are things that we are losing in the process. Yeah? But what I would say is that in development support communication, we talk about some of in development communication, we have constantly talked about all the problems of development, the usual problems of development, and how development communication must create messages, better nutrition, this, that, but we also need to now talk about some of the needs of today, where development communication must also look at the inequality in the world today. Inequality is increasing, and inequality, when it increases beyond a certain point, will lead to societal problems. Okay? And so how do we deal with some of the present problems? What are some of the communicative actions that can be employed to increase power of the ordinary person, technically? So advocacy communication, that's one. Advocacy communication, which has really been started by political groups and other groups, is to create communication which is not neutral, it's not objective, but it is activist and advocate. We need this, something like clean air or clean water or whatever, and then become an advocacy for that. And just like public relations organizations and advertisers are using speech to serve their own ends, we have to use the same kind of technique to push other kinds of information that we think are good for the people. So advocacy communication, which is nothing but lobbying. But lobbying for some things that you think that needs to be done. Today, very little of anything can be done today without an orchestrated information campaign and working with them. So information politics. It is not what you say, it's how you say it today. That's very important. And so resistance communication, that's another one. There are many ways of resistance communication. Of course, there's a lot of I'm not saying all of these are the best. Resistance communication has been criticized, but there's resistance communication all around us today. Maybe you never knew this. Hacking is resistance communication. A lot of the times, people hack not because they are villains, a lot of the time, not all the time, not because they are super bad people. It is to, like, why is it Microsoft gets hacked more than Apple? What is so beautiful about Apple, but Microsoft gets hacked? Apple does not get hacked, because Microsoft in oligopoly is a very big player. Apple is not. And so I'm a common man. I want to take it out on Microsoft. I can hack Microsoft sites. In US, we have political cartoons on the side of goods trains. In US, next time you see some pictures of goods trains, look at you will see elaborate figures, paintings. These are all by street gangs and others, and they're encoded messages. All right. We have other kinds of resistance communications. Hacking is one, street art is another one.
Graffiti.
Huh?
Graffiti as they call it.
Graffiti, correct. Graffiti, okay. Because these have become our public spaces. Most of these sides of goods trains, by the way, goods trains, you know how those carriages go all over, right? So if you put a graffiti on that, it can travel a lot. Most of these are gang related messages. You and I cannot understand the graffiti, but if you're part of some gang, you can know. And this is their way of communicating, their way of resisting an unjust world. You know, that you and I may not, you know, most of the gang, you know, is lower socioeconomic classes. So like that, there's all kinds of resistance. Going on a strike is resistance communication, okay? So like that, there are resistance, advocacy communication, empowerment related communication. There are many kinds of empowerment related communication. Social mobilization. You got to get other people in your committee wired up to, you know, they need to know, they need, no, you need to get the society around you mobilized, you know, and then you need to work media mobilization. However much you may dislike the mainstream media, you still need the help of mainstream. Not all mainstream media all the time are against you know, people. When can you catch hold of them? Again, this is all very strategic, you know. For example, let me give you an not mainstream media, mainstream players. Some of the big social injustices have been tackled by taking the help of extremely big players. We all love blue jeans. This gentleman also is wearing blue jeans. I'm also wearing something blue, but it's not jeans. So blue jeans, okay. Where are blue jeans made? They're made in Bangladesh and countries like that. What are the living conditions of people in these sweatshops? Many of these are illegal, and even the legal ones, no proper protection for the workers. They don't get proper breaks, and etc., etc., etc. And so they carried out a campaign, okay, of how to stop all these countries like Bangladesh and you know, other countries of doing this. They got hold of two constituencies. They got hold of college students. So throughout the United States, in major universities, including my university, there were teach-ins. In the teach-in, the young people were told about, you wear blue jeans and walk around, right? Do you know where blue jeans are made and how people who make these blue jeans are treated? No, I don't know. Okay, this is how things are done. Oh, I didn't know that. And so many universities have no jeans day. So on that day, they encourage students to come to university or college and don't wear jeans. This is immediately, the manufacturers of this, they wake up and they listen. Go after big companies like Walmart. Walmart is the biggest store. They have, I would say there's a Walmart superstore in every town in US. That's a lot of Walmart stores. Bring pressure on Walmart. Tell Walmart, are you a responsible community member? Yes, we are. Then do you know all this stuff you're bringing from these countries? Are you checking on the quality of workplace? Okay. So Walmart then, in order to protect itself, because Walmart also likes like. Today like is everywhere. Today likes is currency. It's worth money. Okay? Walmart then goes and starts putting pressure in Bangladesh, in Vietnam. You can't do that. You have to give workers the same rights they get in United States. They love, you know, like that. Let's take clean water. We all like clean water, okay? But there's so much of dirty water. I know of an example where they teamed up with Coca-Cola. Now what does Coca-Cola need? Clean water. If there were no clean water, Coca-Cola cannot do business, right? So Coca-Cola's business interest is clean water. Bring pressure on Coca-Cola and say, this clean water that you are using to make all your thing, you have to be a good, corporate citizen, and you have to bring pressure on clean water. And Coca-Cola has actually given lots of money for activities like this, has been a corporate sponsor for clean water. So like this is called information politics. This is also called, a media mobilization. So like that, we need to think outside the box now of how different kinds of communicative actions can be used, again, to give countervailing power to, because at the end of the day, it is the inequity in power. So the powerful groups, powerful communities, powerful people have more opportunities, to do things that they want to do in the way they want to do. And vice versa for those who don't have power. So we need to increase the power of the public. How do you increase the power of the public? What does it take to increase the power? So one of them is people power. People power is very good. If you can get a lot of people to support you, then others will sit up and listen to you. People power. So people power is one of them. Where that can be exploited. So there are many ways in which power also can be increased by providing good information, clean information about things, educate the people. So power is very important. And then you need to work on, and so these kinds of communication we are talking about increases the power of public groups, and so that is another topic completely. How to empower the narratives of the marginalized. Okay, their narratives, their stories are buried because they are marginalized. And people like Foucault and others have said that people in power make their knowledge systems superior to the knowledge systems of people who are suppressed. And so material conditions are directly related to your stories, to your narratives. And narratives of certain classes of people in societies are suppressed. And so you need to empower the narratives, the stories, to bring respect back. So there are many ways it can be done. But all of this makes it very challenging. Also, this is very difficult work. This is not like a walk in the park, empowerment. They are politically risky, and they are extremely time consuming. They take time, but it is the right thing to do. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for the excellent